Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we are in the gloomy but beautiful Seattle, Washington, and we are going to eat at Pike Place Market for 24 hours.
Pike Place Market opened in 1907, and I think today there are around 500 vendors. Apparently this is the 33rd most visited attraction in the world, and it has usually around 10 million visitors per year, which is crazy. I know this place is quite expensive. I hope that we're not going to spend all our money. I'm quite curious to see what we're going to spend with budget travelers. So let's see if we can find some cheap stuff here, but I'm excited to eat here for the whole day.
We decided to start off this food video in probably the most American way we possibly could, with coffee and donuts. And you'll be happy to know, local Seattleites, that we did not go to Pike Place Starbucks for coffee. In fact, we went to a place called Ghost Alley Espresso. And for our donuts, we went to the Daily Dozen inside the market. Now, these look delicious. We got an assorted batch of half a dozen, so everything they have basically is in here. And for the drink, I got a smog, which is Earl Grey with espresso, and it has a little bit of lavender in it as well. So let's start with the drink. That is good coffee. If you're not a fan of flowery drinks or flowery desserts, you definitely would not like this. Anja, in fact, does not like flour in her drinks or food typically, but I love this. So this is definitely up my alley. I'm just kidding. Also, I love the whole spooky vibe of it as well. And now we're gonna move on to the donuts. So they had a bunch of different types, including an original, a maple bacon one, they had a powdered sugar one, and I have here the sugar and cinnamon one, I guess. And they were making them fresh to order, basically. They were just pumping them out with this cool little machine. So this is actually really hot. Let's see how it is. That is so good. It is so fluffy, so crispy on the outside, really sugary, but not overly sweet either. I'm Canadian, so the best thing I can compare this to is like an upgraded Timbit. This is really, really good. Now I'm excited for you to try some of these.
The cool thing is you can get an assorted mix of them, and she actually asked us if we wanted one of each or how we wanted it, so that was pretty awesome. So we got one of each. And I'm gonna try the maple bacon one, because I love maple, and bacon is a bit interesting on it. The maple is so good. And it's so nice and fluffy but chewy on the outside. It's delicious. I'm glad that we have another one that's just plain maple.
Why, you don't like the bacon?
I just love maple. I just love maple. It's so good. I don't really drink coffee, but I'm excited to see what this is like because it has tea in it. Oh, that is so weird though, because you taste the tea and the coffee. Like you really do taste it. And then the lavender, I don't know, not my favorite. But we're going to another coffee place, which is quite special, to get a drink for me, because I think a robot serves you there. So let's go. We came to the coffee shop called Artly, which is run by robots, basically. They're robots trained by AI. I think the people who built them used to work at Amazon, and they have branches, I think, in other cities as well. I've seen this internationally. I don't know if it's the same company. I wanted to come here because if you have the app, you only have to pay $1 for your drink. So I thought, perfect. And I didn't actually have Wi-Fi, so the app didn't work. So I ended up getting the drink for free because they're so nice. Not the robots, because there is actually a staff member there. The robots are very nice too. But let's try this. They were supposed to make art on the coffee, but that didn't work. It was just white milk. So I guess the robots still need to be trained a little bit better, but it was a good effort.
B class.
Tastes really good. Tastes very gingery, I think. Like, is it supposed to have ginger normally, chai latte? I think so. Like, it tastes really good.
I can smell the ginger from here.
It's not super sweet, so I kind of like that. Yeah, really, really good.
Pretty good for a robot. Pretty good.
This place is super, super busy. We're here on a Saturday, which is probably not the smartest thing. Normally, you shouldn't be going to these markets on a Saturday because it's super, super packed. We didn't really have another option because we're filming and because of our schedule. I can definitely tell that 10 million people come here every year because it is packed.
As Anja mentioned, Pike Place is incredibly touristy. It is jam-packed in here, but that is exactly why I decided to consult some articles and some Reddit posts to decide which places we should eat here today. So I would say 90% of the places we're going to check out today are based off of the opinions of locals. So I hope that we can satisfy the locals here because we are going to do our best and try out the best stands in the entirety of this market.
For our breakfast main, basically, we came to the Three Girls Bakery, which has been around since 1912. And it was the first business that was licensed to women. So that's pretty cool. And I guess they have a bunch of different pastries and sandwiches. And we wanted to get the salmon bagel, but unfortunately they ran out of bagels. We were a bit too late. But instead we got the Lou Loaf, and it's a meatloaf sandwich. I don't think I've ever had a meatloaf sandwich before. It has pepperoncini, provolone cheese, onions, and toasted rosemary garlic bread, I think. And it looks amazing, and it's so big. It's only $13. I think this place is a bit cheaper than other places, and we're gonna be full after this, so this is gonna work with budget traveling. I don't even know how I'm gonna eat this. This is not gonna be pretty. That's so good. I really like the sauce. I think it's a meatloaf sauce on there. It's like a tomato or something like red sauce. The cheese is really yummy, and the patty is kind of like, I guess, a burger, but it really reminds me of a German boulette because it has like onions in it too and stuff. This bread is really good. It's really good. It's really yummy. I really would like to try some of the other sandwiches too.
Three Sisters is owned by a man named Jacob Levy, and he has been working in Pike Place Market for over 50 years. He started with his father working at a grocery vegetable kind of stand, and now he owns Three Sisters. Now, Three Sisters was a place that was highly recommended on Reddit and everywhere. Everybody said that their bread is phenomenal. As Anja mentioned, we did want to get their bagels with salmon and lox, but honestly, trying this seems like a pretty good alternative. I already know this is going to be amazing. Yeah, this is more unique too than salmon and lox. I don't even know how I'm going to bite this either. Let me try. That is absolutely delicious, and for $13, that is an incredible deal. So if you were coming to Pike Place and you were on a budget, this is a great find. This thing would definitely fill you up. Yum. We are now back for a little snack, and we came to a place called Mee Sum Bakery. Now this place has been around for over 40 years, and apparently they opened up a second location because they were so popular in 2007, and I think it's in the University District, if I'm not mistaken. And what they sell is Chinese and Taiwanese pastries. They sell steam buns, all sorts of desserts, but what we have here is the Hom Bow, and we got the barbecue. So this is obviously a bun, but instead of being steamed, it is baked. And ours is filled with barbecue pork, but you can get a couple different other flavors as well, including a curry beef one. Let's rip this open. I cannot wait to try this. Again, this was a very highly recommended place on Reddit and everywhere online. Wow. No exaggeration, this is so freaking good. I cannot imagine anything else at this market being better than this right now. I mean, I do say that now, but wow. That is so juicy, so meaty, very sweet. That barbecue pork is absolutely perfect. We've had plenty of steamed buns in our life, and it's a similar flavor, but this is just incredible. The dough is so soft and pillowy as well. I know that Anja is gonna love this one.
That's so good. There's so much of the filling as well. That's like just the perfect ratio. Sometimes you get too little of the filling, but this is just so good. It's so sweet, porky. It's divine. We couldn't say no to the steamed buns there. Since we already got pork, we chose the chicken one. And this one's so gooey and pillowy and sticky. I think that might be
Bamboo shoots?
bamboo shoots, yeah. I think there's bamboo shoots in there. It's really nice. It's really tastes kind of like a chicken dumpling soup or something in there. And then, I mean, obviously it's a big chicken ball, but just the flavors of that, I'm really bad at explaining, but this is delicious. I do wish that the dough was a bit less sticky. It's almost like coming apart like pudding or something.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but I think it's because it's so moist inside and there's actually quite a lot of filling, so it's pretty good. I think the other one was better though.
We absolutely love steamed buns. We lived in Asia for a while, so I have high expectations. There's definitely mushrooms in here. Yeah, it seems like it's mushrooms, bamboo shoots, chicken, maybe some green onion or something in there. Yeah, this is really good. The inside is delicious, but just like Ani said, the bun is really sticky. I mean, better than it being dry, but it's like sticking to the roof of my mouth, which is a little bit unusual for a steamed bun.
Soggy.
Yeah, almost soggy. It might have been steaming a little bit too long in the case, but it's still really good and the flavors are good. And it is stacked, which is the most important thing.
We came to another bakery for some pastries. This one's called Piroshky Piroshky. It's, I think, Russian, and they basically have Eastern European pastries. One of the ones we got, I think it's one of the best sellers, is a salmon one. It's salmon pâté, and it's in this fish shape, which is really cool. And then we got another one that is a potato and cheese one. They had so many delicious looking ones. They had an almond one, which I wanted to try, but we only have so much room in our bellies and so much money. Let's try. That's delicious. Like the pastry is really soft, and the salmon pâté, it kind of tastes like baked smoked salmon, and it has like dill, I think, in it. It's really yummy. It tastes like really like fresh, real salmon, but obviously it's in a pâté form, but yeah, it's really yummy.
Of course, Seattle and anywhere in the West Pacific is known for salmon, so that is why we wanted to try at least one salmon-related thing while we were here. This place has been around since 1992, so it has stood the test of time. I'm sure it's going to be worth it. That's so good. Maybe it's just me, but it almost seems like it's mixed with cream cheese or something. It's really creamy, has that nice salmon flavor, and it has the dill. I can't really taste the dill, to be honest, but it's good. But this isn't the only pastry we got. We got one more. We also got the cheese and potato, which was, again, highly recommended by everybody on Reddit. I think this was kind of like the number 2 most popular one. All right, I'm excited for this as well. Really cheesy, obviously really potatoey. It almost tastes like hash brown potato, like thinly sliced pieces of potato inside. The cheese isn't super strong, but it's still really good. But again, if I had to choose, I would definitely go with the salmon pâté. That is the best one for sure.
That is so weird. I think I like the dough of this one better. It almost reminds me of like cheese pizza crust, but instead of just cheese, it has some potato on it. Yeah, I really like this. It also reminds me of pretzel dough or something.
Yeah.
Like, I almost wish that the salmon was in this dough. Like, this one's a bit more fluffy and stuff, but yeah, they're both really good.
We're now at Beecher's Homemade Cheese, which has been around since 2003. They have won multiple awards for their flagship cheese, and they have all sorts of other cheeses in there, including curd cheese. And as a Canadian, you know I love curd cheese. I'm very excited to try this. I think this spot is more for the tourists. I'm not sure if the locals go here as much, but we needed to try it anyways because it looks absolutely delicious. So this is their mac and cheese. It looks extremely creamy, and it is made with penne instead of macaroni. We got the 8-ounce portion. You can get also what, 16-ounce?
Yeah.
But I feel like this is gonna be so rich. I don't see how you could possibly need more than 8 ounces. That is absolutely delicious. It is so creamy, and I feel like I already know what Anja's gonna say about this, but it totally tastes like those Michelina dinners, frozen dinners that we used to get, that mac and cheese version of this, because it's so creamy like that.
That's not a compliment.
No, but like an upscale, posh version of that. It's really, really good. But yeah, again, there's no way I would eat a 16-ounce version of this. So rich, so creamy, and so freaking delicious.
I really like this cheese sauce because it really has a bit of a funky taste to it, and I love that. Penne is not my favorite pasta, so I'm a bit sad about that. And when it comes to mac and cheese, I always love like real cheese. So Brandon is kind of right. This does seem like a really, really elevated version of like a frozen meal that you get. I don't know, but that's not necessarily what I like. I like real cheese. I like the mac and cheese that Brandon's mom makes. This is really good still, and you just can taste the like real like cheesiness, feediness. So that's quite yummy. I like it. And when I say that I usually prefer real cheese in my mac, obviously this has real cheese, but I mean I like melted cheese. I like real shredded cheese, and this one is more like a bechamel cream type of sauce. So yeah, I just want to bite in a chunk of melted cheese as well, but this is still good. We're now back for dinner, and we're gonna start with a place called Pike Place Chowder. And as the name suggests, obviously they have like clam chowder and other chowders. This one is the New England chowder, which I think is one of their best sellers. And apparently this one was named Best National Dish by Yelp. I guess it's very good. There's a long line outside. It doesn't take a long time though, even on a Saturday, but it looks delicious. This one has bacon in it. I can see potatoes, parsley. Almost like pickles or something. That is actually a lot better than I thought. I forgot to say it has clams, obviously.
Oh yeah, it's a New England clam chowder.
Tastes like the ocean, but in a good way. I actually really like the bacon in it. I actually didn't want it because of the bacon, but now I'm like, oh, that's really nice, because it's kind of like chewy. This is delicious. There's like quite a lot of chunks of potatoes, yeah. This is yummy. Should definitely have this when you come here.
Pike Place Chowder is another one of those spots that's very touristy, but I checked on Reddit to see if it was a place that was worth visiting, and almost every local agreed that it is delicious and it's at least worth one visit, especially if there's not a line. But we had to wait a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. It looks very runny compared to what I know of as clam chowder. I am from the east coast of Canada, and we definitely have clam chowder there as well, but it still looks really, really good. The pieces inside are very small though. I'm used to like massive chunks. Now this is really good, really creamy. It has little pieces of clams rather than huge chunks, which is definitely what I prefer. I really like a chunky clam chowder, but this is still delicious. If you come to Pike Place, I would definitely check this place out. I know there's a lot of other kind of competitors like Ivar's and a few other places, so I'm not sure which one's the best. If you are from Seattle, please let us know in the comments. What is your go-to spot for chowder? Let us know. We are now at Rachel's Ginger Beer for a little refreshment. This was another one that was Reddit recommended. I found it in the comments. I had never even heard about it, and I've never seen it on anybody else's video before. They had a bunch of different types of ginger beer, obviously as the name suggests. They pour them from these keg-like taps, which is very interesting. And they have multiple flavors, but we got caramelized pineapple because that sounded really good to us. Although it is rainy and shitty, I can imagine this would be really great on a hot summer day here in Seattle. Holy, that is really good. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of ginger beer, even though I do like ginger, but this is a really great ginger beer. I love the pineapple mixed with the ginger. It's very tart, very sour, very, very good.
That's so good. I'm always like worried with these type of drinks that they're too sweet and stuff, and this is not really that sweet. It's really sour, really gingery, and I love ginger beer. I don't like root beer. Root beer is gross, but ginger beer is delicious. Yeah, this one's great. As Brandon mentioned earlier, the first Starbucks that ever opened is here at Pike Place Market, and I think they serve a blend that only exists at this branch. So it's pretty special. There's a huge line outside. Everyone who loves Starbucks goes there. Brandon already had a coffee earlier, so we don't need to go there.
And I'm sure all the locals would agree that there's much better coffee in Seattle, so maybe skip this one.
There's also a section of the market that has other stuff like clothes, flowers, candles, jewelry, little vendors selling like little drinks or food items or whatever. So that's pretty cool. There's actually a few stands that also give you samples, and there was one stand called Black Forest Mushrooms, and they have mushroom jerky. And I love mushrooms and I love jerky, so I had to try it. This one is made out of oyster mushrooms. So chewy. So good. So like barbecue-y or something, I don't know. It's really good. It doesn't taste obviously like meat or whatever. It's not trying to do that. It has a very like strong mushroom taste, I feel like. The other one is lion's mane. It's also a bit spicy. This one's even more chewy. I really like that. Would be a good snack.
Really, really good.
Sample of smoked salmon. So now we're gonna have some dessert, and we came to the Crumpet shop. Crumpets, I guess, are usually more for breakfast. They also have a lot of like breakfast options, but they have this thing, and I couldn't say no to it. I don't know if this is very popular amongst the locals, but I saw this on the menu, I saw this online, so I had to have it. It's the Vermont butter crumpet, and this one has cream cheese and walnuts on it. And it looks amazing, and I hope it's gonna taste like this too. Ooh. I think they make these themselves, like they're homemade. I saw them over there in the baking section.
Yeah, it's kind of the point of
kitchen.
this place.
That is so good. That cream cheese, the walnuts, the maple butter. This is like my dream. If you know me, I really, really love like maple and walnut flavors. So this is like made for me. This is also like kind of soaking in the maple butter. And if you know what a crumpet is, obviously it has all these holes, so the maple butter like flows through it. This is magical. This is so good.
For the US viewers who don't know what a crumpet is, it is basically a pastry slash bread from the UK. It gets these perforations, these holes, because it's cooked on the flat top, and then the bubbles that rise from the dough make these little tiny holes. And as Anja said, these little holes are a perfect vessel for any spread that you put on top. So I imagine that this maple butter is soaked all throughout. Oh, this looks so good. Wow. As Anja already mentioned, this is definitely more of a breakfast thing. I've never had a dessert version. In the morning, we would put maybe butter, jam, or something like peanut butter on top. But yeah, this dessert version is incredible. This place has been around since 1976, so I understand why, because these are really freaking delicious. It is now time for second dinner, third dinner, fourth dinner. Who knows at this point? We've just been eating all freaking day. But now it is time for Oriental Food Mart. Again, I'm sure I've said this 10 times in this video, this is a very highly recommended place on Reddit, on articles that I've seen online. And what it is Filipino food. And we got the longanisa sausage with pancit, these little glass noodles, rice noodles, cabbage, and a massive portion of rice. This looks absolutely delicious. We were the last people in line. She said we were the last order of the day because we were here basically at 4 dinner time, the end. This looks really freaking good. We love Filipino food, but I don't think we've ever had this before. Let's see. That's delicious. It's like almost like a honey garlic sausage or something like that. It's really tasty. It's really soft. It doesn't have much of a snap, but the flavor is absolutely incredible. I'm glad that we were able to get this because We were so close to not getting anything. Let's try some of this pancit, these noodles. Delicious. The noodles are very simple. As I said, glass noodles with some cabbage, shredded carrot, vegetables. Yeah, this is really, really good. And of course, some white rice.
That's really yummy. It's so sweet. I mean, there's a lot of fat in there, I think. That's why it's kind of so soft. But yeah, this is like really, really, really good. I really love the sweetness. I really like these noodles. What is it, pancit? I think that's a good contrast and stuff, like that it's not just rice, but like some like cabbage and noodles and stuff. And this was one of the more expensive things that we got. This was $15.99, but this portion is humongous. Like, this is definitely an American-sized portion, and this is definitely for 2 people. Like, we don't need another dish for dinner.
So of course they don't just have the longanisa sausage, they have a bunch of other things as well. They have chicken adobo, pork adobo, all sorts of things. And we came for the chicken adobo, but unfortunately they ran out because it is incredibly popular. The guy in the line before us was there for that, and yeah, we didn't get to have it. But this was still really good, and we would highly recommend that you come to Oriental Food Mart if you are at Pike Place, because this is great.
This is the end of the video. Pike Place was absolutely amazing. There's so many vendors. You could basically eat at a different one every day of the year. We're so stuffed. And I added everything together for the day, and it was just a little bit over $100 before taxes, which is obviously a lot of money, but considering what we got, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, if you came here on a budget, you could definitely fill your stomachs, no problem. There was a bunch of meals for around the $15 range, and snacks for even less. So if you are on a budget like us, it's still worth checking out.
Yes, definitely come here.
Yeah, but I think that is it for this video. So if you did like it, please give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. But for now, that is it, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Bye!